Bracketology, presented by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, breaking down the 2022 Texas High School Football Playoff brackets. That's my friend Ishmael Johnson. I'm your friend Greg Tepper. I guess we're both your friends, but like
Sure.
This is 3A Division 2, and we are going to. This might be the bracket with the overall heaviest favorite. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable saying there's one other one in 2A that might have one, but I would say that there is a heavy favorite in this one. With that said, that doesn't mean that there's not intrigue in every region.
Sure. I was about to say, a couple years ago, we had Paul Pewitt come out, right, and make a state championship game. But I would say probably this is, when I was doing my projections, thinking of who was going to make it out, this was probably the one that I was kind of like, not pen, I don't pen anything, right? But hard pencil, right? Hard to erase pencil. Yes. That's what this whole division was for me.
We'll get to that in a moment. We'll start with Region 1, though. Region 1 has been dominated by Canadian, except when it isn't. So they are, I believe, 30-1 in their last 31 Region 1 playoff games, okay? They have been dominant, but of course, they lost last year to Childress they lost to Abernathy in the regional semifinals. Abernathy does lurk again in a potential regional semifinal and a dangerous team, but they actually get a first-round matchup with the team that won Region 1 last year. You may remember Lubbock Roosevelt. Now, this is not the same Lubbock Roosevelt team. I think Canadian is your favorite there, and I would say Canadian, this is probably a return to form. I think they figured things out.
I think so. I think you're looking at the other side of the bracket. I mean, Wall, Childress, right? We'll see who comes out of that game in the area round. That's probably the other one of the other options I would say coming out of here, but yeah, it's hard to go against Canadian just based off history.
I think you're right. Wall is an interesting case because of the offense that they run, and then Childress, with a new coach, I think they figure things out. Abernathy's very dangerous as well, but it does feel like Canadians to lose. Speaking of someone with a region to lose, let's go to Region 2, where you've got the team that we've been talking about, which is the Gunner Tigers, the number 1 team in 3A Division 2. Looks, I don't want to say inevitable, but like they have been rolling past people. Now, they have gotten some pushes in the past, and by the way, I believe they've won like 28 straight Region 4 games or Region 2 games. They've been insane. Now, the teams that could challenge them, I think they got a really favorable draw because all the teams that can challenge them, I think, are up here. Bells gave them a run. I think Holiday is very dangerous. Their defense is very good. Comanche as well, but those are all going to kind of eat each other up, kind of leaving Gunner down here maybe against Palmer.
Yeah, best offense in the state, I've always said. I've been consistent on that. I still think that pistol option spread thing they have going on there it's hard to bet against, basically. And how many times have we seen Canadian versus Gunner in a semifinal, right?
It does feel like we're going to get it again.
Yeah.
But I will say up here is where you're going to get the really fun games, right?
Sure.
I think Comanche Bells in the second round matchup could be fun. Holiday against the winner of that potentially there. Scurry Rosser, a bit of a sleeper. But again, at some point you got to beat Gunner, and it doesn't feel like there's a team that can beat Gunner in Region 2, maybe even in the state. Let's go to Region 3. Over to Region 3 we go, where again, this is, we talk about how regions have different like styles and different personalities. This is the speed region.
Sure.
This is everyone can fly. And I think you've got 3 teams that have kind of risen above everyone else. Newton, Dangerfield, and West Rusk look like the teams to beat.
I think so. I think Newton it's been a few years, right? Obviously, it's been a few years since they've been at state. I think this is a team that starts to gets back to that. The Eagles look really, really sharp right now. I like Dangerfield a lot. I think that's an interesting team to watch as well. West Rusk got probably the better draw, right? They don't get to play, if they get the job done, they don't have to play them to a regional final. I saw them this year. That offense is very interesting. The defense can be got a little bit, but I think you mentioned it. Athleticism, speed, I think they have it. Andon Mata has done a good job at quarterback there. I think they'll be pretty good if they take care of business. And at that point, again, one-off, right? Dangerfield, Newton, somebody, they just got to beat them once.
I would say that the sleepers probably come out of District 10, a team like Hooks, a team like DeKalb. But overall, I think that those are the teams. West Rusk, Dangerfield, and Newton look like the power there in 3A Division 2, Region 3. Let's go to Region 4. Region 4 is where I think you've got 2 teams on either side of the region that feel like they're on a collision course. Poth, Lexington look like the teams that may be meeting in early December.
I was about to say, those are probably my 2 teams right there. Poth, I've been waiting for Poth to kind of really punch through the past couple years. Looks like this year could potentially be the year. I thought it'd be a couple years, I believe it was 2019, where they had a great run where they kind of actually broke out. I feel like there was a breakout season in 2019, roughly. I could be mistaken, it might be 2020 as well. But I've been waiting for them to have that breakout season where they make a regional final run, state semifinal run. I think this could potentially be the year.
Yeah, Lexington's a team that's undefeated, looking very good this year. Keep an eye on them. And then I would look at a team like Hebronville, or I'm sorry, not Hebronville, Tidehaven, rather. David Lucio's bunch doing a great job down there. So when you take a look at region at 3A Division 2, again, I'm not trying to bury the entire bracket, but it does feel like at some point someone would have to beat Gunner. And I'm not sure that team exists right now. Gunner Canadian is always fun, but I think that Gunner would be a favorite in that one. And then over here, you're just talking about stylistic clashes. Does a team with a lot of speed or a team that can just outmuscle you like Poth pose a challenge to Gunner? I'm not necessarily sure. This does feel like the Tigers to lose.
I was about to say it definitely does feel like that. But again, we've seen this flip, right? The Canadian Gunner matchups always kind of dictated where the next season goes, right? And so if one of them comes out this year, maybe next year it flips, or maybe this sets the stage for Gunner being the favorite again next year, right? It always seems like the best two teams come out of here, and then by the time the state championship happens, I don't know. We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, exactly right. You never know, how teams are going to show up there at AT&T Stadium. But we will be there at AT&T Stadium for the state championships, and we will have you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com.